TGIF, thank God it's fish. As long as the audio is working, I am all in. Yes, this t-shirt is available in the Uncle Fish store below. Get in, get on, be good. It's a Friday fish by the numbers. Let's do the math here. By the way, feel free to tell me that the audio is working. Would you please, please, please? Joey, Lorenzo, Stephen, Don, Gary, somebody. Tell me that the audio is working. Thank you, VJ. And Gary Eck, Uncle Fish Premium, you still need to tell me how to pronounce your name so I don't screw it up. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, John. And away we go. I'm Mike Fisher, by the way, your trusty and trusted reporter. Tomorrow's my birthday. So I was going to take a day off from doing 2 videos a day. And then I realized I already kind of take Saturdays off on the video here. I'll probably do one tomorrow in the midday anyway, though, even though Sugar won't like it because the Cowboys will have some midday Saturday transactions. So happy birth weekend to me. By the numbers. Bang, 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 bang. You ready? I don't think you're going to like them. Cowboys at Atlanta. This is Machine Gun Fish. I don't have 10. I might have 100 of them. Here we go. The point spread is Falcons by 2.5. That's too small. I'm not, and we appreciate our coordination with BetUS. If you're a BetUS guy, that doesn't feel right at all. That's very respectful of the Cowboys. We'll see. But like the 2.5 thing, and again, I'm no expert on this. The 2.5 thing is basically like that's what they get for being at home. That's not enough. Item, 2 teams, and I know that both Jerry, Stephen, and McCarthy all did the arrows up thing. We feel like we're really some arrows up. Who, based on the last game they played, whose arrow is up here? Who on this roster has an arrows up? CeeDee Lamb? Brandon Aubrey? Who else? The arrows are down. And especially when you do the comparison, Cowboys versus Atlanta. Cowboys have lost 2 straight. Falcons have won 4 of the last 5. Whose arrows going where? Item, Dallas can't stop the run. And now in Atlanta, they're finally figuring out how to give the ball to Bijan. I don't know why it's taken them this long. Is it, he's not a pass pro guy? I don't care. Barry Sanders probably wasn't very good at pass protection either, but he didn't split carries with Tyler Algier. Meanwhile, they have Bijan, and you rank 31st in stopping the run. You give up 155 yards a game. 31st. In fact, as we have this conversation this morning, give me 15 minutes and I'll give you the Cowboy world on doing the math here. The Cowboys rank like 31st in a lot of categories, including 155 yards rushing allowed, ranking 31st. Item, it sure has been fun. We had the watermelon kick game, didn't we? Cowboys in the last 2 games, they've got 3 straight wins over Atlanta. Cowboys in the last 2 games, 43 and 40. Now, this can all change on a dime. We all recognize that. Does this feel like a Cowboy team that can score 40 points? Does it feel like it? Jason Latham, Uncle Fish Premium. Hey, how do I get the circle and the star like Jason? Ask the fellas. They'll show you how. Would you also please hit the like button that tells the algorithms on YouTube? I want Cowboy information, real Cowboy information. I don't want slapdickery. I don't want grab acidry. I want fish on football. Hit the like button. In fact, would 41 people right now, please do hit the like button and also subscribe to what we do here and tell a friend. Byron Joe, explain Ben Johnson as a potential head coach. Thank you for popping that in. He will be on everybody's list or should be on everybody's list. The problem with the Cowboys' history is they don't usually go down that path. And clearly, they should examine every path. But the 2 Cowboy paths under the Joneses traditionally are, we go from our family tree of a sort, 1, or we go to a veteran, proven, accomplished retread of a sort. They don't usually go to category 3, which is, like, we don't know that young guy with the fresh ideas and the 5 o'clock shadow and the cool sunglasses. We don't know him. Why don't we get to know him? It's not usually the way they roll. Jimmy, trade CeeDee Lamb for Garrett Wilson. Okay. Thanks for watching last night's game, Jimmy. Thanks for playing. We appreciate you hanging out here. So you can see that Garrett Wilson made a nice catch. Touchdown scored. Cowboys are averaging 2 touchdowns a game. There's only 5 teams worse than that. So what does that put you? You're 27th. So you're not 31st in that category. You're 27th. Touchdowns in the red zone. Cowboys, 8 of 19, 42%. Is 40% bad? Yes, it ranks, guess where? 31st. Only the Giants are worse. And I want us to think about this. And again, we know all about lame duck and blow it up. We've covered it to death, although it lives. The Giants, the beleaguered Giants, with the rookie Malik hurt, no Saquon, Singletary hurt, so they play the kid. The beleaguered Daniel Jones. And touchdowns in the red zone, that's the only team worse than you. You're like the Giants in the red zone, Cowboys. And there's a lot of components here. Is it just Dak? Is it just this? Is it just, it's all of it. It's everything. How about the Cowboys running the football themselves? Well, they rank 32nd there. 74 yards a game. 74 yards a game. Meanwhile, the Falcons have topped 30 points in 3 of their last 4 games. So the Falcons feel like a team that scores 30, and the Cowboys feel like a team that gets 2 touchdowns. Russell Anderson, Jerry Smarty knew where this thing was going to go last February, organically tanking. You mean I was smart? Is that what you mean to say? Because I don't know if it's smart. I don't know if what the Cowboys are doing is smart. I just know that we were smart to figure it out. That's all I know. Organic tanking, Lorenzo. I'm glad a lot of people are catching on to that. I invented that phrase, seriously, like 20 years ago with the Mavericks. So I'm glad that 72,000 people get it. By the way, organic tanking isn't the same as tanking. They're not going to lose on purpose. And first of all, they're not there yet. They're not organically tanking yet. They are trying to win. They're just not good enough. If they lose to Atlanta, if they go on a losing streak, well, give me a minute. We'll get there. Hold on a second. So we're doing the numbers here. By the way, thank you, speaking of numbers, to BetUS. Go to betus.com and get yourself your big discount. The game at BetUS, it adds a component. We'll say that. It adds a component to watching your Cowboy games. So go to BetUS, have yourself some fun there, and we appreciate our association with those good folks. BetUS, go get it done there, and get your big discount. YouTube 150 is the code. YouTube 150. Thank you to BetUS. Falcons score 30, and you get 2 touchdowns. The turnover differential, and this is a disaster. And I don't know. I don't know how you coach takeaways. I know people pretend they know, but I don't. Well, somebody was saying the other night, as Chris Collinsworth saying, the 49ers have a tradition. They don't want to just tackle you. They want the first guy to go for the ball. That's a tradition? Never heard that before. I'm not saying they don't do it now. I've never really heard of it before. That the first guy is assigned to not tackle the ball carrier. The first guy is assigned to tackle the ball, and then other guys. I've never heard of that, but okay. But Collinsworth made it sound like that's a 49er tradition. I have no idea what he's talking about. So, can you coach takeaways? Maybe. Mike Nolan showed up here his year as defense coordinator. He had like a book this thick on coaching takeaways. I'm like, man, and I said it then. I said, I don't know. I mean, sometimes the ball just bounces off somebody's head and the other team members, I don't know. Can you coach not turning the ball over? You could coach it better than the Cowboys do. Cowboys Nation got spoiled in a good way with turnover differential. This team for this was record setting for 3 straight years. 2021, differential of plus 14. 2022, plus 10. 2023, plus 10. First time in franchise history that they've ever gone plus 10 3 straight years, and the first in the NFL to do it in 10 years. But now, turnover differential, minus 8. Guess where that ranks you? That's right, 30th. How do you get worse than the Cowboys? You have to be the Raiders or the Titans. Again, I'm not trying to be, I'm not a mean-spirited person. I'm giving us the truth of where you are. I did a radio show in Atlanta yesterday, and the Cowboys have all this talent, and they have and I said, we can keep saying that, but look at the numbers. The numbers say that the Cowboys offense in the red zone is like the Giants. The numbers say that the Cowboys turnover differential is like the Titans. The Titans don't have a $60 million quarterback. The Titans have Tony Pollard. That's what the Titans have. Who, by the way, used to play here. Your numbers, your Cowboys numbers, put you among 3 and 4 isn't bad, but these other numbers put you 3 and 4 is mediocre, kind of. These other numbers put you among the dregs of the league. Dak Prescott has thrown multiple interceptions in 3 straight games. Somebody pointed out, well, yeah, but the last time that happened was 1992, and that team went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know. I was there. And if you could just get to the statue Kirk Cousins, if you could just get to him. I heard our man Brian Broaddus the other day saying maybe DeMarvion Overshown should be put at defensive end and let him rush the passer. Maybe. It's not something that he's really done. But as Bugs Bunny likes to say, it couldn't Hoyt. Teams don't get to Kirk Cousins, and of course the Cowboys don't get to the quarterback. He ranks 3rd in the NFL in passing yards. By the way, Dak ranks well in passing yards too, but a lot of that is because the Cowboys are behind 48-0, and the defense is saying, you want to throw a 10-yard out? Go ahead and throw a 10-yard out. We really don't care. Halftime adjustments. I've been beating this drum for a long time, trying to explain to Cowboy and NFL fans. Halftime adjustments are in the movies. The halftime adjustments that we think happen in the NFL only happen in the movies. D.B. Cooper, injury report. Micah, no way. Bland will monitor today. Diggs should be fine. Here's your Cowboy injury report. Much more at cowboyscountry.com over the course of the day. Gary, thanks for the depressing Friday. I know, I'm sorry. This is my birthday present to you. I've been saying this I've been trying to explain this for years. Halftime isn't where the coaching staff goes, we got to change everything. We got to move him over here and move this over here and chess pieces. Halftime's when guys take a piss. That's what happens at halftime. Halftime's when guys get an IV. Halftime's when guys change their undershirts. Seriously, that's what happens. Joey says, 49ers sure adjusted at halftime. Did they? Because here's what, Joey, you are right on time this morning. Because here's what Kyle Shanahan said about halftime adjustments the other day. He goes, honestly, people never do that. Literally, this is exactly what he said. That's for the movies. We have a few minutes in there. It's 12 minutes. So guys break it up in their groups. They get into their stuff. We re-review everything that's going forward. It's hectic and it's kind of a bleep show. Sometimes I call the guys up and we break it down. And then sometimes I go to the back room and I tell Fred Warner to call them up and they break it down. This is the truth about adjustments. Nowadays, with all the video available, the adjustments take place in live time on the sideline as the games go along. It's not halftime adjustments like in the movies. And you see the quarterback, you see Dak Prescott go and sit there with the coordinator and they look at that blue thing and they say, oh, look at this, what if we did this? It happens in live time. Teams don't rewrite the playbook at halftime. But having said that, as was pointed out last night, the Cowboys in the third quarter have been outscored a maniacal, a maddening, an incredible 61-19 in the third quarter. That's impossible. Whatever the Cowboys are doing at halftime, urinating, IVs, changing your undershirt, change something else. 61-19. Sean Hanna, Fish, have you evolved in the last 30 years? Yes. I'm strikingly more handsome than I was 30 years ago. Strikingly. Item. The Falcons come into the Sunday noon start. They have a 5-3 record. They have something else in terms of arrows up. They're 4-0 in their division. The Saints are wounded. The Panthers are terrible. The Bucks are good, but wounded. They have a commanding lead in that division and a real leg up on possibly a bye in the NFC. That's arrow up. The Cowboys are in third place. And they're looking up at not only the arch rival Eagles, now they're looking up at their old friend Dan Quinn with a rookie quarterback. Arrow up, arrow down. In the end, and I'll close with this, the Cowboys are in danger. Not that you can't win these games, not that you can't win this game. You can. 2.5 point spread, the odds makers obviously think you can. But there's a danger here. And we know all about this. We know all about the angst and the lame duck and the blow it up. Padraig O'Brien says, hello from Ireland. How you doing, lads? We're doing well. Tony C., why did they have to adjust after the half in the 49ers game? They had the lead. But they get outscored 61-19 in the third quarter. That's why. That's why. Didn't they have 10 points at halftime? 10 points at halftime. Listen, I got news for you. The Cowboy team that last year led the NFL in scoring at 30, that's good. Being on a pace to score 20 is bad. 30 good, 20 bad. We know about the gauntlet. We knew it when the schedule came out. Cowboys' next 4 games are against Atlanta, Philadelphia, Houston, which is way better than it looked last night, and Washington. Those teams entering this week, combined record of 22-9. We are now looking at a stretch that will likely define Dallas's season. When we do the math and look at the numbers, This stretch is it. 22-9 versus where you're at. This stretch will likely define the Cowboys season, or maybe it's already been defined. Fish out. Oh, and thanks, BetUS.